ये पार्टिसिपेंट वाला थोड़ा वो करना, ये नाम देखें। हाँ इधर कहीं और राइट साइड में ले आओ और लेफ्ट में ले आओ, इसको पार्टिसिपेंट वाला चलेगा चलेगा, और लेफ्ट में ले आओ एकदम, ठीक है। यस, गुड मॉर्निंग गोली, प्रणय, गुड मॉर्निंग सात्विका, गुड मॉर्निंग टू ऑल ऑफ यू, गुड मॉर्निंग मानसा, गुड मॉर्निंग पल्लवी, गुड मॉर्निंग वानी। Any doubt from the previous class, beta? We have studied POAC and percentage purity of a sample. Right? We studied two concepts in the previous class. Good morning. So if you have any doubt related to previous class, please let me know. Yes, good morning, dear Santosh. Yes, good morning, Tarun. Good morning, Yashwant. Good morning, Sai Darsha. Good morning, A. Santosh. So let us start our class. In the previous class, we have understood POAC. Okay, fine. It was based on conservation of mass. It was based on conservation of mass. That is conservation of atoms, atom of given element. It says atoms can neither be created nor destroyed, right? Okay, that's great, beta. Yashwant, just maintain your energy. Okay, fine. This was POAC, and the second topic was percentage purity. Right? There might be chances that the sample given to you is not 100% pure. So in such case, you need to calculate the reacted amount, and that can be calculated by the given information. So this is purity. So try to understand in chemistry what will happen, or it also happens in our daily life. There might be that the sample given to you might be impure, or sometimes the process carried out to prepare something is not that good, is not efficient, right? There might be two things. For example, if we are taking science, and there might be a chances that we are not having that good aptitude to understand the science subject. So that is basically there is some impurity in your sample. Okay, there is impurity at first place. But then there might be students who are too good, their sample, or they have very good qualities to have science as a subject, but their process is not good. They are not studying, they are not allowing themselves to devote enough time. Okay, so there might be two things. One is sample is impure, other is process carried out is not efficient. So the first case we have already seen, that was related to percentage purity. Now the other case is percentage yield. Okay, so if our process is not that good, then the percentage yield of the product that we are expecting, the theoretical value of product will not match with the actual value of product. So we are expecting 10 moles, but we will be getting 8 moles. This is because of process carried out is not efficient. The process that we are carrying out is not good. There are some leakages, there are some distractions. Okay, so because of that, percentage yield of any process decreases. Okay, so these two topics we have already covered in the previous class. This is our next topic, that is percentage yield. So you just put the topic name. This is percentage yield. Okay, so you will see in organic chemistry, you will see this thing that we want to prepare Covishield or we want to prepare Covaxin, right? But there is a process which is not efficient. We were expecting that we can prepare 1000 doses per day, but due to inefficient process, we are only getting 800 doses. That means our yield of the vaccination producing or manufacturing is only 80%. Did you get it? Did you get it? What is the meaning of percentage yield? Yes. Okay, fine. So you can also relate it with your daily routine, that you expect every day that I will solve 80 questions, but due to some obstacles you are able to solve. Let's say you are targeting to solve 100 questions per day, but due to certain things you are able to solve only 75 questions. So it means your yield is not that much good. You are only producing 75%. Your productivity is only 75%. So are you getting my point? So percentage yield can be written as actual yield what we have got upon theoretical yield. Theoretical yield, right? For example, let's say we are trying to produce ammonia using nitrogen and hydrogen. Let's say we are having 5 moles of nitrogen and hydrogen is present in excess amount. How many moles of ammonia we can expect? Expected moles of ammonia, theoretical moles. This is theoretical or expected moles. So moles of ammonia expected might, if process were, so please tell me how many moles we can expect. Yashwant, you are very excited. Can you please tell me if the moles of nitrogen are 5? So how many moles of ammonia you can expect? Deepak, Vani, Sai Darshak, please respond. If we use stoichiometry, how many moles of ammonia we can expect? Ten. Fine. Thank you. I know. So we are expecting 10 moles. Great. But there might be cases that we are getting only 8 moles. In the real, at some chemistry, not beta 5 into 3 by 2 nahi beta. You are doing wrong. It will be 2 into 5 by 1. Vani, please check. Okay. So this is your theoretical value. This is what you are expecting. But this is our actual yield. This is our actual. Due to some leakages or due to some inefficient processes, okay, so we are getting only 8 moles. So for this case, our percentage yield will become 8 by 10 into 100. That is only 80%. Write it down, then we will solve some problems. Such statements will be given in the question. So we need to focus only on mole calculation and the stoichiometry. But these are some additional information which will change your answer. Okay, you will calculate 10 moles. Your first answer will be 10 only option. But they have only said that your yield of the process is 80%. So it should change 10 to 8. So I will be giving some questions. Question is saying, calculate the yield of, calculate the volume of CO2 released on heating 8.4 gram of magnesium carbonate if percentage yield of the process is 75%. No, I am just telling you, Anjali, it is given in the problem, beta. Anjali, 8 moles are given that we experimentally after the process, when we observed, we saw that only 8 moles are produced. So this is given in the problem, right? But in this case, it is not given, we are expecting. So the first process, percentage purity, that is related to, the percentage purity is related to the reactant. And now the percentage yield is related to the process. So basically percentage purity will change the amount of reactant and percentage yield will change the amount of product. So these two things are working on different. You just see. I will be writing it after when we will finish this topic, then I will write it. So I am giving the options 2.24 liter, 3.36 liter, 1.68 liter, and fourth 16.8 liter. So I am giving you the options. Just I have already told you any carbonate on heating provides magnesium oxide plus CO2 gas. And magnesium carbonate has molar mass of 84 gram per mole. So now please solve it. Yes, I have got. Vani, beta, what are you doing? It says, beta, it says it is 75% yield. So whatever is the actual answer, you have to multiply by 0.75. So correct answer will be, let us check what will be our correct answer. It says we are heating at 8.4 gram. So 8.4 gram, I have already told you, you need to calculate moles. Whatever information is given, using that, first calculate moles. So that will be 0.1 mole. So if 0.1 mole with the 100% efficiency, till now we have expected, till now we have already assumed that if nothing is given, then sample is 100% pure, as well as the efficiency of the process is 100%. So at the time of admission, we always assume that you are 100% efficient. Whatever we say, you will follow. But during the process, you start not to following the guidelines given by sirs or teachers. So in that case, your efficiency decreases, and as well as your marks also get affected. So moles are 0.1. Using the stoichiometry, CO2 should be produced 0.1 mole. But it says it is only 75%. So 75% yield. N mole actual, you want to calculate actual upon, this is theoretical, 0.1 theoretical into 100. So if you solve it, then actual mole will be 0.075, right? Now if you multiply by 22.4 liter, okay, if you want to calculate volume of CO2, just calculate 22.4 into 3/40. Okay, so you will get this answer. The answer 3 is right. So if you have any doubt, please let me know. So what is happening? Reactant gives product. You have to adjust the product concentration by multiplying with percentage yield. Whatever you are getting answer, you have to adjust it with percentage yield. Then your answer, then write your answer. But in the case of percentage purity, first adjust the reactant with percentage purity. You need to remove the impurity, because impurities are considered as inert until unless given. So in that case, you have to adjust the amount of reactant. In percentage yield, you have to adjust the amount of products. Okay. So I'm writing another question. Please try to solve it. 6.4 gram of SO2 on reacting with 1.6 gram of O2 produces 6 gram of SO3. Calculate percentage purity, percentage yield of the process. Have you written it? Have you written it? Fine, Jaisakbar, thanks. I'm also giving you the answer 37.5%. Second one is 66.66%. Third is 50%, and fourth is 80%. So the process is SO2 on reacting with O2 gives SO3. So if you balance it, they have given you the weight. First calculate the moles, then calculate the theoretical value. So they have given you 0.1 mole and 0.05. And I have told you, if information about two reactants are given, note, I have already told you, if information about two reactants are given, always check the limiting reagent. Okay, I have already told you, but luckily in this case, both of them are behaving a limiting reagent. If you see, both of them are behaving a limiting reagent. So if you solve, the moles of both will get finished after the reaction. Both are present in the limiting amount. So after the reaction, if you solve it by this, then moles of SO3 will produce 0.1 mole. Okay, if you are having any doubt after the class, you can ask me on the Telegram. Okay, do not hesitate. Do not hesitate during the initial classes, because these are the foundation classes. All these concepts are going to haunt you later. Okay, these all concepts will be coming again and again. If we are learning chemical equilibrium, ionic equilibrium, then all the problems will start from here only. Okay, so I am requesting you, if you are not able to get any concept, please ask me on Telegram or ask me in the class. I will try to explain it in a simpler way. Okay, do not hesitate. Please do not hesitate. So it will give, using the stoichiometry, it will produce only 0.1 mole, right? So, but it says we have produced only 6 gram. If you calculate it, if you calculate it 0.1 mole, so weight of SO3 will come as 0.1 into 80, that is 8 gram. But in the problem it is given that is only 6 gram. So how do you calculate percentage yield? Percentage yield is actual upon theoretical into 100. This is what theoretical. This is what given is actual. Actual will always be given in the problem, directly or indirectly. Theoretically you have to calculate. Theoretically you have to calculate. This is calculated in the problem. Calculated by using stoichiometry. This is given in the problem. Given in the problem. So if you use, it will become 6 by 8 into 100. Okay. So if you solve it, it will become your second answer. Please write it down. And if any one of you are having any doubt, please let me know. Beta, if you want to calculate moles of SO3, okay, you can calculate it by only seeing the stoichiometry. It says, if you see the reaction, balanced reaction tells you about the exact molar ratio. It tells if 2 moles of SO2 are present, then 2 moles of SO3 will be produced. So they are produced in the exact same ratio, that is 2:2. So if there are only 0.1 mole, so it will produce 0.1 mole. Or that can be calculated. I have already told you one process. If you want to calculate for SO3, you keep its stoichiometry in the numerator. And as you are calculating it by using SO2, so you multiply the moles of SO2 divided by stoichiometry of SO2. Beta, if you solve this, you will get the answer. Pallavi, were you not present in the last class or the class before that? Were you present in the last class? Okay, beta. Fine. Did you get it, beta? Okay, fine. Anyone else? Have you written all of this? Have you written all of this? Fine, fine, fine. So any doubt from your side, beta, regarding percentage yield or percentage purity? Did you get it? How to utilize the concept and where to apply it? Thanks, Satvika. Thanks, Jayasankar. Thanks, DS Santosh. So keep your energy high. Okay, thanks. Thanks for your response. Now there is next topic which also deals with the percentage. That is why they teach you percentage in the 6th or 7th class. Okay, at that time we do not understand the importance of percentage. So percentage, calculation of percentage is very important. You can see from the last 2 classes we are using too much percentage. Percentage is always calculated out of 100. So next one is percentage composition. Percentage composition of sample, of mixture. This is the case when more than one reactant of similar kind are present, similar type. This arises when this case is related to problems which contain more than one reactant of having same chemical properties. I will be explaining it. So in a sample there are 2 compound A and B. Okay, there might be a case in which sample is present and it can show. So there it will be a case. This is a container in which reaction is carrying out. So it contains A as well as B. Both of them have some at least one common chemical properties. One common chemical property. What do you mean by one common chemical property? One common chemical property is that both of them are of acidic nature, or both of them are of basic nature, or both on heating provides SO2, or both of them on heating provides O2, or both of them are of neutral with respect to acid or neutral with respect to base. Some such kind of property exists. Then we can apply this type of concept. And what will they give you? They will give you a reagent. Or something that they will heat that both of the substance, and they will give you some result, and on the basis of result you have to predict the percentage composition, right? I will give you example and you will understand it. Question says 10 moles of mixture of H2SO4 and HCl require 16 moles of, let me change it. (15 moles of NaOH for complete neutralization. For complete neutralization. Calculate percentage of HCl present in sample. So just focus over here. I will be solving the problem. Okay, from the basic, it says there is a sample which contains HCl as well as H2SO4. From our knowledge, as we all know that both of them have capability to react with base. So if you add base NaOH, then both of them will react. Okay, but it is given that 10 moles of total mixture. We do not know what is the exact moles of HCl and what is the exact moles of H2SO4. So we need to solve two equations. You have already studied in mathematics at 8th or 9th class that write two equations and solve them. So we will be doing the same procedure but with chemical reagents. So first you write it HCl on reacting with NaOH, it will produce NaCl and Pani. Okay, Pani is produced. Now it says 10 moles. So let us assume that moles of the HCl which are present in the sample are only X. So you assume X, Y, Z, anything. So I am assuming A. Okay, I am assuming that moles of HCl are A. And in the similar manner, H2SO4 on reacting with NaOH, it will produce Na2SO4 plus H2O. So you need to first balance it, 2 into, and here also 2. Now you assume that moles of H2SO4, as its moles are A and total moles are 10, so it will be 10 minus A. It's a very simple problem, beta. As it you can see by stoichiometry, if moles of HCl are A, then moles of NaOH must also be A. So I have written A here. If you see by stoichiometry, moles of NaOH required are twice the moles of H2SO4. So these will be 2 into 10 minus A. Just solve these things. You know the total moles of NaOH. How many moles of NaOH are? A plus 2 into 10 minus A must be equal to total moles of NaOH. That is 15. That is 15. So now solve it. So A will come as 5 moles. So moles of HCl comes as 5. But it is asking you the percentage. So percentage HCl will become A upon total are 10 into 100. So A is 5, that is 50%. Write it down, or anyone is having any doubt, please tell me. Okay, Siddharth. Anyone else who is having any doubt? Pallavi is clear. Okay, fine. So you will see such problem in while you will be solving volumetric analysis. So in the mole concept, okay, I am unable to pronounce your name, Dharavat. Okay, see, it says total moles of H2SO4 and HCl are 10. So I am assuming the moles of HCl as A. So automatically moles of H2SO4 will become 10 minus A. Right? So I am solving for HCl A. I am taking the moles of HCl A, unknown A, and I am taking the moles of H2SO4 as 10 minus A. Now what I am doing, using the stoichiometry, I am writing that moles of NaOH must be, these are in the 1:1 ratio. So if you want to write, it will be 1 into A divided by 1. So it will come as 1, A. And from the stoichiometry of other reaction, we can easily say that moles of NaOH required to neutralize H2SO4 must be twice the moles of H2SO4. So 2 into 10 minus A. So these are the total moles of NaOH are required to neutralize HCl and H2SO4. But total moles are given in the problem. Total moles are 15. So I am just adding these two things. So by adding these two, we will get the moles of NaOH. This is the total moles of NaOH. And solving this, A will get 5, and A is nothing but moles of HCl. So the composition of A is 5 mole. Out of 10, if HCl are 5 moles, then percentage will be 50. Is that clear, Dharavat? You can take X, Y, Z. You can take Dharavat, whatever you want. What do you want to take? What do you want to take, beta? We do not know about it, so we are taking anything. You can take anything. You cannot take exact number 3, 4. You can take any variable. You can take it X or anything else. Okay, it is just a variable, beta. So you can take as per your convenience. If you like P, if you know someone whose name is starting from P, you can take P. If you know someone whose name starts from S and you like him or her, you can take it as S. Okay, it's just a variable whose value we want to determine. That is why we taking it some variable, right? Is that okay, beta? With all others, any doubt? So see, from last 3-4 classes, we are again and again encountering with the carbonates. So let us understand, if we heat any carbonate, what is the product? Okay, there are some 2-3 reactions in which we will get different product. So heating effect on carbonates. This is the topic of inorganic chemistry. I just want you to have some basic idea. Okay, if you heat any carbonate, this is very interesting. Okay, if you take any carbonate, you will get CO2. Okay, but there are certain compounds, carbonates of the first group in the periodic table, that is alkali metals, right? Example, sodium carbonate, potassium carbonate, rubidium carbonate, cesium carbonate. Okay, if you heat them, any one of each, no reaction. They do not produce CO2. They are very stable. They do not produce CO2 on heating. So if if there is some question which says which of the following will not produce CO2 on heating, so these you remember only these four. I am intentionally not writing at Li2CO3, lithium carbonate, because it produces. So okay, so you can write Li2CO3 but cut it here, because it does not belong to this type of reaction. It belongs to first group, but it does not show this reaction. Second, carbonates of Hg and Ag. So if you heat Hg2CO3, on heating, it does not produce Hg oxide, it just produces metal, CO2 and O2. Similarly, Ag2CO3 also, if you heat it, it will produce Ag, CO2 and O2. So they produce two gases, right? You might encounter a question in which they will say that which of the following carbonate on heating produces two gases. So these are the two. It is because the oxides of Hg and oxide of Ag are not stable. So they form their oxide, and oxide again dissociate into metal and oxygen. Okay, so I am writing just oxides of Hg and Ag are not stable. In all other oxides, in all other carbonates, whatever carbonates you encounter in your life, any carbonate, you take any carbonate, this will be your reaction, MxCO3. If you heat it, it will produce MxO plus CO2. That is the reaction. Okay, M can be anything. For example, you take any carbonate, let's say lithium carbonate. On heating, it will produce Li2O plus CO2 gas. This is CO2 gas, right? This is also two gases. Any other thing, magnesium carbonate, it will produce MgO and CO2. You take anything, barium carbonate, lead carbonate, any carbonate if you take, it will produce BaO plus CO2 gas. Okay, see, heating effect, it's a very broad topic. Okay, one day I will be covering it. It is very important and very interesting. Similar way, we can understand the heating effect on sulfates, heating effect on chromate, heating effect on permanganates, heating effect on sulfates, right? Heating effect on sulfides. Okay, so but right now you see most of the problem will be dealing with carbonates. So I am just telling you how can you see the heating effect on carbonates. There is another thing, that is heating effect on bicarbonate. Very simple heating effect. If you see any, are you understanding my heating effect? Yes, beta. Only Hg and Ag will produce two gases. And it is the question. It is the previous question. It is the previous question. Okay. That which of the following carbonate will produce two gases? Heating effect on bicarbonate. Bicarbonate. So it is nothing but HCO3. Bicarbonate means, I have already told you, if you write bi, it means H, extra H. So if you heat any bicarbonate, let's say sodium bicarbonate, any bicarbonate on heating produce carbonate as well as CO2 plus H2O. So this is CO2. That's it. Very simple. Any carbonate you can take. Calcium bicarbonate. If you heat it, it will produce calcium carbonate plus CO2 plus H2O. This is not balanced. You can balance it. On heating any bicarbonate, you will always get CO2 is produced. CO2 plus carbonate plus water. This is your product. On any bicarbonate. Write it down, then we will move ahead. Just write it down, beta. CO3 beta. CO3 does not exist in neutral. It is CO3 minus 2. Do you want to ask CO2? Pallavi, do you want me to ask? Do you want carbonate? Carbonates are used. They are present everywhere, beta. Even you can see the limestone. The limestone, it is used in stones. Calcium carbonate, right? In the production of, these are used in the production of many important chemical compounds. Sodium carbonate and sodium bicarbonate are used to produce NaOH. Okay, so you will be learning those things. If you are done with the writing, please let me know. So did you like this information? So I am giving one question related to the previous topic, that is percentage. Okay, thanks, beta. Okay, fine. Stay tuned. You will be getting very interesting information in chemistry. Okay, lot of good facts, lot of good, interesting, useful information. See, so question is saying 14.2 gram of magnesium carbonate and calcium carbonate on heating produces 3.36 liter of CO2 gas at STP. Calculate the percentage composition or calculate the percentage of magnesium carbonate. So you can now write the reaction. You can write the reaction and you are able to, you can solve it. Okay, just solve this problem. This is very good problem. Today we have completed 1 month, right? The classes were started on 25th of the last 25th May, right? So we have completed 1 month. Congratulations to all of you that you have maintained the consistency, regularity, and you are attending the class and you are learning new things day as day are passing, you are learning new things. So as someone was having doubt, so I'm just telling that if you are having two things and the total is given, so what you can do, total is given that the weight of both are, if you add weight of both, then it is 14.2 gram. So what you can do, you just assume it as X or some A, and you can take it as 14.2 gram minus X. Okay. Now write the reaction and try to solve it. I've already told you, we do no problem with the weight. We always try to solve moles. No, beta, we will not get O2. O2 is produced only in the case of Hg and Ag. It is not produced in the case of Mg, right? It is not produced in the case of Mg, beta. It is produced only in the case of Hg and Ag. So this is the solution I have written. If you take the moles of the weight of MgCO3 as A, so calculate its moles, it will become A by 84. And by the stoichiometry, you see the moles of CO2 must be equal to most moles of MgCO3. So they will also become A by 84. On the other hand, the weight of calcium carbonate will become 14.2 minus A. And now dividing it by the molar mass of the calcium carbonate, you can calculate the moles of calcium carbonate. Moles of both magnesium as well calcium carbonate are calculated. Now using the moles of magnesium carbonate and calcium carbonate, you can calculate moles of CO2. I have calculated the moles of CO2 using the stoichiometry. Moles of CO2 are already given with the help of volume. By using the volume, you can calculate the moles dividing by 22.4 liter. So dividing by 22.4 liter, you have calculated the moles, and these must be equal to the produced moles in the reaction. So there are two conditions. One is given in the problem, another you are creating and you are equating with the given information. Now using that, you can easily solve the value of A. Okay. This will take some time, and using that A, you can easily calculate the percentage of MgCO3. Any doubt, beta? Please tell me if you are having any doubt. Any doubt from your side? Please respond, beta. Okay, fine, fine. So I'm now solve this question. Now solve this question. It's a very nice question. It is already a question which has been asked in the JEE exam. It's a PYQ. It's a previous year asked question. Values might be different. I have taken different values, numerical values, but this is the concept which already has been asked in the JEE. So from Monday onwards, we will be starting with concentration terms, right? We are already done with the mole related problems. We are already done with mole related problems, mole concept. This we have already finished. Now it is to be covered in the coming week. That is concentration terms. It's a bit tricky. It's a bit problem which is based on information. It's a problem which is based on information. So what will you get on heating Na2CO3? Please write the equation of Na2CO3. If you heat Na2CO3, what will you get? Any one of you? Very nice, Raju. Great, great. There will be no reaction. It will produce no CO2. If you understood this, then your problem is already done. Okay, you have cracked the problem. Now it is given sodium bicarbonate. So if you heat it, it will produce sodium carbonate as well as CO2 and water. So you can see whatever is the CO2 is coming, it is coming only from sodium bicarbonate. So by knowing the amount of CO2, you can easily calculate the amount of sodium bicarbonate. So the amount of CO2 is given. So you can assume it as A. Then later you can see sodium bicarbonate and sodium carbonate. You can assume its weight A. Its weight will become 4 minus A. So if its weight is A, okay, calculate its weight 24. So and 16 and 48. 60. So this will become 84. AY 84, right? So AY 84. Yes. No reaction. So AY 84 will produce. If you see the stoichiometry, and you, so it will be AY 84 into 2. 1 by 2 into. These are the moles of CO2, but they have given you the information about moles. So moles of CO2 is how much? 0.88 by 44. Okay, so it is nothing but 0.02 mole. So you can easily write it. A is equal to AY 2 into 84 is equal to 0.02 mole. So you can calculate 0.02 into 2 into 84. This is your weight of sodium bicarbonate. So if you want to calculate the percentage of sodium bicarbonate, that will be, am I writing correct? Am I solving right? Please respond. So it will be A upon 4 into 100. That will be your answer. Please tell me. Did you get it? Yes, okay. So it will come as 3.72 gram, right? So weight of Na2CO3 will become, this will become 3.72 में से हटाओगे 4 minus 3.72 will become 0.28 gram. 3.72 or 3.32, sorry, 3.32. 68, right? Sir, why AY4? Where I have written AY4? This is AY84 beta. This is AY84 because the mass of molar mass of sodium bicarbonate is, so I have calculated the moles of sodium bicarbonate. Did you get it, Pallavi? That is why I am okay, fine. So any one of you having any doubt regarding this question or these concepts? So we are done with the problems of the mole concept. In the next class, in the coming class, we will be dealing with the concentration terms. But I am saying that there are only 4 grams of mixture, and on heating it produces this much of CO2. But with the previous knowledge, I know that if you heat these two things, sodium carbonate, sodium bicarbonate, sodium carbonate is not going to produce CO2. It is not going to produce CO2. Okay, Santosh. So now CO2 is coming only from sodium bicarbonate. Weight of sodium bicarbonate is A. I am dividing it by its molar mass, that is 84. So we are getting the moles of sodium bicarbonate. Now using the stoichiometry, 2 moles of sodium bicarbonate produces 1 mole. So these moles will produce half of these moles. So we have calculated the moles of the CO2, and these moles should be equal to the given moles, that is 0.88 gram. So by equating these two things, the moles of CO2 calculated from the reaction and moles of CO2 given in the problem. Okay, you are having two information, just equate them. So on equating, you will get moles of CO2. These are nothing but moles of CO2. So solving it, you will get the value of A. Now from that value, you can also calculate the weight of Na2CO3. Dear Santosh, did you get it? You just have to know this equation, that sodium carbonate does not produce CO2. So all of this CO2 is coming from sodium bicarbonate. So I think we should end our class over here, right? We will meet on Monday with our new concept, that is concentration terms. Very useful thing. Please come in the next class by revising all the concepts which we have covered till now. Okay, and all the very best for the test. Thank you so much, Jay. Thank you so much.